Hello friends, this is our third lecture on feminism. We have seen in the first lecture Bastille, the patriarchy is the Bastille of feminism. That's what we saw. And now second we saw in the lecture, the main point is the playful plurality of feminism. In many ways, there is a playful plurality. Now today, our third lecture, we are going to examine what are the major concerns. And then we come to the conclusion. The conclusion is that an equal world is a better world. It's better than man as a class, see, and woman as a class. Both of them, they attain equality in everything. That will be a better world. Because as otherwise, there is bound to be pockets of violence here and there. So let's see what are the major concerns. And before that, you know who is the author of this Feminism in French. Feminism. This is the French word from where we have got feminism. The English feminism. And the French word Charles, the next word is spelled F-O-U-R-I-E-R. Charles, he was a socialist, F-O-U-R-I-E-R, and it is pronounced Fourier. Charles Fourier. He coined this word feminism in French language, and English it is feminism. I think so far it's all right. Now, some of the points that we see, the major concerns you can see. First concern is the individual autonomy. First concern is that individual autonomy. We know about autonomous colleges these days. So what is individual autonomy means? Self-direction. Acting on motives, reasons and values that are one's own. When you are acting, you should be acting on your motives or your reasons. For example, suppose your parents compel you to become a lawyer while you want to become a teacher. See, if you have got individual autonomy, you will be acting on motives and reasons. You will have your motives, you will have your reasons and values that are your own. So in such a situation, you have got individual autonomy. So you have got two choices here. One is teacher, the other is lawyer. You want to become a teacher, you don't want to become a lawyer. So if you are in a situation of individual autonomy, you can. And Kant has said in a very famous statement by Kant, autonomy of the will is the property of the will as of being a law unto itself. That is, your autonomy of the will is the property of the will, and the will has the ability, it has got the power. It is a law unto itself. Your will is your law. That is autonomy. So this is one of the major concerns, because we know the time of this repression and oppression and leading to psychological depression. Oppression, suppression, and leading to psychological depression. What happens? You have no autonomy. You don't like to become a lawyer, but your parents say that you should become a doctor. How is that possible? You want to become a teacher, because you have got some values, you have got some motives. So if you are allowed to act on your motives, your reasons and your values, then we can say you enjoy autonomy. Second, Second concern is political rights. Political rights. So, what do you mean by political rights? You know, right to vote. Isn't it? Right to vote. And empowerment, political empowerment, right to vote. Right to participate in the government. Right to be a representative. Right to start movements. That's why we have got first wave movement. First wave movements we call feminism. Say first wave, second wave, third wave, like the fourth wave. After Sunday there will be fifth wave, like that. So that is political rights means. Empowerment, politically you are empowered. You can participate in the governments. And you can become a representative. Right to vote. So these are decision making. Part of the decision making. Participate in the decision making. Understand? So this is another concept. Third is social freedom. The third concern is social freedom. What is meant by social freedom? See your mobility, for example, that's one thing. Mobility is one. Have your friends. Freedom from parental control, freedom from control of the husband, and also bondage of marriage. That's it. No control, so to say. Parental control. Manu Smriti. Remember I recorded Manu Smriti now. You should be, as a girl, under the custody of father. As a wife, under the custody of your husband. And a widow under the custody of son. Oh, what a terrible situation. You are always under custody. As if you are a criminal. you are under certain restriction. This should go. That is social freedom means. Listen. Then economic freedom. Fourth one is economic freedom. Economic freedom. What is economic freedom means? See, you should have access to, and you must be in a position to ownership. Access to and ownership of economic, say, property rights. Yes, property right. Economic resources. You should be in a position to enter into contract. You should be allowed to enter into mutual funds. You should have your own bank account. Once economic equality is achieved, or freedom is achieved, gained or achieved, 50% of this violence against women will come to a grinding halt. Bound to. Because it's because you are dependent that all the problems comes up. Understand? So you should be able to own your land and property and money. You should be in a position to use money. See that? This is all these things put together, you can say, means access to economic resources and ownership, all kinds of, that is social economic independence means. And now then you have got fifth is reproductive rights. Reproductive rights. So what is meant by reproductive rights? It's not a simple thing as you said. You should have legal and safe, right to legal and safe abortion. Okay? Right to birth control. In a family, you can see in the case of, even at present you find, the woman undergoes or takes birth control measures, the man is free. Oh, this is so unequal a situation. So it cannot be. So, reproductive rights, right to birth control. No coercion for sterilization. Why? No and contraceptives. There should be no coercion, no compulsion, no force. If you are interested in, okay. If not, be free. Understand? And then you must have access to good quality reproductive health care. That's also important. So it's really, it is like a network, you can say. A network. Just one point is missing in the network. Network of these concerns or rights. There's bound to be chance for violence, friction, and all the other things that naturally would follow. So this is the reproductive rights. Sixth, you can see divorce. The right to divorce, very important, because there are certain cases you are unable to live with the persons. Unable. Adultery is the case. And then unhygienic conditions. See? Or you are deserted. The woman is deserted. 3-4 years. The man doesn't turn up. Then you have got to see violence. And you are unable, life becomes impossible. It becomes impossible for a human being to live with the partner. In both ways it can be. Not only divorce is not only for woman but also for man. In such conditions, you should have right to do it. So otherwise, what kind of a life is this? You will be in eternal hell, so to say. So you must have the right to say goodbye. Solid reasons. Not just you look that side, that this, or you talk to another person. That is not the thing. That is not the, such things are not reasons for this. But solid reasons. Solid reasons we can prove. Definitely you should have the right to divorce. And 7, you can see workplace. Workplace. In workplace, what happens? Workplace rights, you can say. Workplace rights. Now, what are these? Maternity leave, equal pay for equal work, then enough leisure in between, say morning and evening sessions. If it is a shift, there should be protection, workplace protection. You can see, a year ago, I think that 2 or 3 murders took place. Murder, cold-blooded murder of women returning from workplace to their homes at night. That's terrible. Terrible. Such things should not happen. So that means there's no workplace rights. That's the point. Now 8, you have the 8th point is you have end of domestic violence. Very, very important. Based on dowry. See? 8, end of domestic violence. This is dowry death, dowry death. Now, once upon a time, it was very common. Very common. Domestic violence. And herein comes also child marriage. Child marriage. Then property, for property. See, after the marriage, the newly married, you can say the wife of your son, she goes back for some time for a reprieve, for a small holiday, 5 or 6 days to her own house from Sasural, just to see her parents. Then what will the Sasural people do? They will give a list. You have to bring such and such things to me. Long list of things. If not, you are not welcome. I think that position, that situation has now changed. But once upon a time it was there. So that is the cause of violence. Cause of violence and death. How many people were burned? So to say, reasons are a gas cylinder exploded or short circuit the room. Whatever it is, what happens is that you find your precious daughter whom you looked after as so near to your heart. See, a precious gift from God undergoes suffering and all the consequences of violence at her in-laws' house. That is the sasural. I think that is the word in Hindi. Sasural. The sasural violence. So, of course, these days you don't find it, but rarely. But once upon a time, it was very common. So, that's a major issue. And then you have got the ninth issue, major issue is gender inequalities. See, that is. You can say gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes. What is gender stereotypes means? What does it mean? It means certain expectations based on gender. Expectation. So how a female should dress. See, you are expected to dress, how a female should behave, how she should present herself, polite she should be accommodating, she should be nurturing, and men should be strong, aggressive and bold. Even if he is a paralytic, he has to appear to be aggressive and bold. How will he do that? We do not know. But women, even though she is beautiful, healthy and good looking and so on, pretty, she has to be very tame, she has to be very polite, accommodating, suffering anything, see, she is not allowed to come and meet a guest at home, and especially if it is a male. So this kind of stereotypes, gender stereotypes, should put on into it. So that should definitely. So that is a major issue, gender stereotypes. And then we have got, these are major issues or major concerns. You have got discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination on all fronts. Yes. It is a wide-ranging problem. That's called wide consequences. Broad, very, very broad. This is a broad spectrum antibiotics, like that. This is a broad spectrum issue. Discrimination everywhere. Occupation, discrimination based on gender, discrimination based on society, travel. Understand? Another issue. And 11 is sexism. Sexism. And what is sexism? Sexism is, you have got the stereotypes. See? There you have got one sex is superior to the other. Sexual harassment, if you further, an extended meaning would be sexual harassment, rape, sexual violence, workplace inequality, all these come under sexism. Understand? And 12, objectification. Objectification. Women considered as property, a commodity. Property or commodity. Trophy to be won. Prizes to be won. It's an object to be won by men. So this is that kind of attitude. Property. And again you have got heteronormative language. Heteronormative language. Heteronormative language. What is heteronormative language means? The special sexual orientation. Hetero, different hetero. Normative, a rule. Normative grammar, rule-based grammar is. So heteronormative sexual orientation means rule-based sexual orientation. What is that? Language is used. So that is man, woman. Woman, man. No other. All the others are deviations. Only male and female that is allowed, or sexual union is normal. It's only allowed. All the others, for example, other sexual orientation like homo, there is a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, etc. out. In that, what happens there is the autonomy comes in there. Autonomy. And also even sexism. Some of these rights they overlap. Sexism comes in. Or you can say discrimination, or any of this is a very important problem that the women's movement had to address, and partially at least they have succeeded in achieving their targets, partially at least, through the so-called waves of feminism. First wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and we are waiting for the fifth wave. The post-truth world, post-structuralist world, how things are going to be, we have to wait and see. Okay, so that is 12th point. And the 13th is of course educational rights. Most important, educational rights. You have access to quality education. See, point number 13 is education. Right to education. So that is you have these are major issues. You have access to quality education at all levels, not one or two places, all levels. The interesting thing is that there is terrible discrimination going on in society even now. Suppose you have a boy and girl at home, son and daughter, and suppose you are a poor person, then the preference for education will be given to the boy and not the girl, even if he is a muff. Suppose your daughter is a brilliant fellow, no, nothing will do there. So there is no equality. So educational, say access to good quality education is denied just because the difference in gender. That shouldn't. So these are some of the major issues. There are more issues you can see depending on the places or the racial situation or ethnic situation or political. Say if it is a dictatorship, a democracy, so that's a different different situation here. The ambience should be different. So those things we leave out because that's why we said now in the beginning is multiracial, this playful plurality. But major concerns will be. Okay. Writing, for example. What did Alice Walker say? Alice Walker's very famous phrase, no? Spiritual waste, she says. Spiritual waste. Our mothers gardens. Spiritual waste. Their life, the life of their mothers. It was spiritual waste. She sums up like this. They are gifted people. They were gifted people, but unable to express. Gifted people unable to express. So discrimination again. So these are the major issues. And there may be, as I told you, other issues depending on the local situations. For example, what is a very important issue in India may not be that important in America or in European countries. See, for example, you have got right to education. This situation is different. Now, of course, it has become tremendous changes have taken place in our country also. Still, if you find in pockets here and there, no, you have it. But in other countries, for example, advanced countries, because they are rich, we are also becoming rich, and our per capita income has gone up, our level of living has gone up. So these days I think this won't become a major issue, but still it is an issue in different third world countries. Third world countries, this is an issue. Developing countries, lack of funds, lack of facilities and so on. So that's what I said. Some of this varies, that's variable, depending on the situation in the local situation. So after going through this, a list of the major concerns or major issues that feminism should address, should see. Already most of these have been, for right to vote, now everybody has it. America and Britain, they have already enacted laws. India, we have no such problem. After independence in India, never. There was a time when women were not allowed to vote. So we had political freedom. Now we have got further, we have got reservation for women. So we have gone a long way in that way, in this field of political freedom and political rights. Very long way we have advanced. Understand? So now we will see after 3. So you can consider this also an introduction. First I told you in the key point in the introduction was the patriarchy is the Bastille of feminism. Second is the playful plurality of this movement or the approaches. Because you cannot have a grand narrative. What is applicable in a third world country may not be applicable in developed European countries. That's the reason why we have got after all, the whole thing started with that is middle class European women. The movement as such, feminism, started or launched by middle class European women. So they are the originators of this movement. And now third one we saw the different issues that feminism has to face and has to address and has to solve, has to find solutions. And now we will see how, in what way, these movements have succeeded in gaining or in achieving their targets through the different waves of feminism. First, second, third and fourth. So far fourth, and then till we see the fifth and how it goes, how the dynamics of the fifth. So up to that point, we'll see the dynamics of the first, second, third waves for the time being and see how these things developed and in the history of feminism. So there are certain issues that have been solved and should be recorded in golden letters. We will see these things in the coming lectures. Till then, bye, have a nice time, enjoy your life.